episode of Downstream Outdoors. Today on Downstream Outdoors, we're back into survival. Today on Downstream Outdoors, we're going to do something with shelter making. Today, we're going to make what's called a simple debris hut. Now, why would you need to make a simple debris hut? Well, let's say the scenario is I'm a hiker today. I went out walking. I didn't bring much in the way of supplies with me, maybe a bottle of water or something to drink, my camera. I have a little knife with me. That's about all I have with me today. Okay, this is our scenario. But I ended up getting turned around. I got off the trail. I thought I could find a nice picture over here. I got lost. And the realization has started to sink in. It's going to get dark soon. I need some sort of shelter to help keep me warm overnight. This is going to be one of the most simple shelters you can make. Okay, I've chosen to use this top of a fallen tree right here behind me as my shelter. Okay, it's got nice strong beams on it here that we can use to our advantage. Our first job though is we're going to clear our immediate work area here, and then we're going to rake a whole bunch of these dead leaves off the forest floor into the floor of our debris hut. The reason we're going to put a bunch of leaves down is one of the biggest ways to wick the body heat out of yourself is to lay against the cold ground. Okay, body exposure to the ground is going to suck a lot of body heat away from you, and the more leaves we get in there, the more they work as an insulating barrier against the ground. Okay, even these wet leaves, they'll dry out once we get a fire going, and we've talked about fires in other videos. We're going to do even more. Actually, I'm hoping to do one right here in front of our debris hut for a future video, but once we get our fire going, everything will dry out, everything will warm up. Okay, once we get our good layer of leaves in here, we're going to start laying sticks across the top, and we're going to make roofs and walls. And then we're going to take a whole bunch of leaves and every kind of piece of debris that we can find, and we're going to cover them sticks up. And we're creating another insulating layer on top of that. Okay, so that all we have left is an opening right in along here. Okay, and with that opening, we can crawl in there. We'll be lengthwise to our fire, which will be placed right out front in here, giving our body maximum exposure to the fire, but while maintaining closure on all other sides to help reflect that heat from that fire back to us and keep the wind and the other elements off of ourselves. So we've got a lot of work ahead of ourselves to get this debris hut done. Let's get it done right now. We're not above using tools either. I just found myself this nice little forked stick. We're going to use this as kind of a leaf rake to help rake our leaves in instead of being down there with our hands, and maybe lighten the workload a little bit. All right, we got a pretty good bed of leaves going on the bottom now. Now we're going to continue with our next step, which is we're going to take and find a bunch of sticks laid around here in the woods, and we're basically going to create like rafters in a roof right across here, and that will help hold up all the debris that we put on top. All right, here we are. We're at a transitional phase. Okay, you can see all the sticks and everything I have mounted up on top of the branches here. And then we have this main branch going right along here. That is our main support for the front entrance. Okay, it's connected over there, comes all the way around, drives into the ground over here. It's going to be a good, strong main support. As you can see, it works its way right around to where we have the backside covered. This down here would be where I'd lay my head because it's closest to the ground. I mean my feet, because that's going to need the least amount of room. Up here is where I'm going to lay my head because there's about a 2-foot opening right there that'll give me room to lift my head up, turn over, and stuff like that. But right now we only have the one opening. So what's next is we're going to take in, we're going to do the similar scenario we did down here when we filled all the leaves in on the bottom. We're going to take and we're going to cover all this up with leaves as our insulating barrier. All right, well, here it is. It's completed. You can see it's nice and dark inside because we got all our debris out all over the place. Nice good insulation, nice and closed in on almost every side except for the front side, which we plan on having our fire right out here to get all our heat to go back in. Now it's all that's left. Try it out. Yeah, I can imagine just a nice little fire right here. This here is definitely going to be a nice little shelter. Not going to do much for rain. It's not going to keep the rain off very well, but it'll definitely keep me warm tonight, and that's always a plus. So we're going to try to get a fire going, maybe catch a little Z's. Till next time, keep your line wet and out of the trees.